failed to do so. On top of the 25,704,004 shillings in unpaid value-added tax is 1,376,988 shillings in unpaid income tax, bringing the amount of tax not paid by Kebaso in the last 3 years to 27,080,992 shillings. The taxman has cited Kebaso David Morara, Agro Digital Enterprise, Morara Home Furniture, Luku Fashion, Morara Properties Limited, and Backtent Security Limited as the 6 businesses that the businessman owns. Further, KRA has listed 6 motor vehicles that Morara owns, among them a van, a Land Cruiser pickup, a Land Cruiser Prado, a Volkswagen Passat, a Captain Tuk-Tuk, and a TVS motorcycle.
Katika serikali hii,
Morara has how
The Inject Party leader Morara Kebaso is facing another challenge. After he has been moving around the country exposing the Kenya Kwanza regime, it seems that KRA seems to be looking at him, and for the longest time they have now decided to attack him, citing that he has been avoiding paying tax and he is going to face the consequences of tax penalty. In Kenya, the Kenya Kwanza regime government has always been trying to come up with new ways for ensuring maximum tax collection. From introducing a new finance bill which was down, they have come out with ways to ensure that they get up with people who are evading tax. But for Morara Kebaso, we have not had an official answer yet, but many people on social media are alleging that this is political persecution and this is the result of fighting with the Kenya Kwanza regime. Do you believe it's the consequences of fighting with the Kenya Kwanza regime, or it is what it is? For me, I feel like either way, it's going to be what it is. I don't want to speculate. But Morara Kebaso has been vocal, and here is one of the things which he talked which might have got the government wrong.
There's one thing that should never ever be left to politicians to manage. It is the security sector. The safety and security of Kenyans is so paramount that this should actually be left to security professionals to do this work. But which professions are we talking about? 377 billion has been allocated to the security sector this year. 110 billion was allocated to the National Police Service, and about 46 billion was allocated to the National Intelligence Service. So 110 billion plus 46 billion to NIS and to the National Police Service, and yet we have an Inspector General denying that they do not know where these young people were or have been or who is abducting them. The thought or even the sense with which politicians, state officials being paid by taxes, saying that Gachagua was the one abducting these people is total nonsense. It's not even something that should be tolerated. It's not even wise enough to say it to a fool. He does not have the capacity to abduct any other person. So the state should know at the bare minimum who is abducting these people if it is not themselves. Now here is where the worry comes in. There's a squad abducting people in a free country with a constitution, and those people are not under the command of the Inspector General. How does it even happen? How is it even permitted to fly? We have a National Security Council. We have an Inspector General who is independent under the Constitution. We have a Directorate of Criminal Investigation which is distinct. And then we have people dying. We have femicide. We have young people turning up dead with organs missing. We have people turning up in morgues. We have trigger-happy police people. We have unmotivated police officers. We have people who are poorly paid, who have poor housing. And we have people who are being abducted and disappear merely for criticizing the government. If indeed they made a mistake, and that mistake is actually recognized as a crime under the law, why not arrest them, present them before a court of law, charge them with an offense, and let them be found guilty? We are not grateful. I saw some people saying yesterday that we are grateful that they've been released. Personally, I'm not grateful. I'm not grateful that there are young people in this country that disappeared 15 days or 16 days ago did not enjoy their Christmas with their families or their New Year with their families, and then suddenly they turn up from nowhere, and the police are not able to give us an explanation, as they've never been able to give us an explanation about anything. To this date, we don't have a solution on the Kware murders, on the people that were found in sacks, chopped into pieces and dead in Kware. Yeah? We have a suspect that escaped through the help of the police. To this day, we do not know how many people died in Shakahola, all right? How many people were exhumed, or how many bodies were exhumed, and whether those bodies have been given to the families for burial.
No.
So it's a sad situation. We have a completely mismanaged security sector, and I can tell you that the reason we have that problem is because we are allowing politicians to manage security.
Fair enough. Before I engage Wakili, let me ask you, because you raised the issue of, the Kware murders and the investigative agencies. On the issue of the Kware murders, they say Collins Jumaisi did escape. Now, there's a concern in regards to the investigative agencies here in the country, because they are unable to locate Jumaisi. If indeed it is true is the murderer, they are unable to locate even the person who killed the student in January, the university student in January. Just forgotten the name. But there are very serious concerns in regards to bringing the perpetrators of all these murder cases to book. How does that, paint the investigative agencies in the country?
The security sector is grossly mismanaged in Kenya, all right? We have police officers who hold high ranks, who we've not done a lifestyle audit on them. They have a lot of illicit wealth. Some of them are billionaires in a manner that which their salaries does not support. Right now, if you ask the DCI to locate Morara, they know where I am this very second. They even know who I'm talking to because they've hacked my phone. But they are not able to locate a killer, a person who has taken away the precious life of a person who has parents, who has a family that cares about them, whereas life is precious. Then how safe are we? We have a National Intelligence Service, and let me just tell you this for your knowledge. We have a National Intelligence Service where we have political cronyism. People are being given positions in the NIS on the basis of politics. Okay. For example, at this very point, I can say it right here on K24, that the person managing political affairs in the National Intelligence Service is the son of Mudavadi. So then when you leave state agencies which are managing security to be managed by politicians, what are you going to come up with? You're going to come up with NIS reports that are stories ajaba. Okay. And that is why the President of the Republic of Kenya keeps making the wrong decisions, because he keeps getting stories ajaba reports from the NIS. Yet these are people who've been allocated 46 billion shillings. That's 46,000 million.
Fair enough.
I've been to very many police stations. Just yesterday I was at Central Police Station. What do you find? Broken furniture, toilets that are not fit for use by human beings. Okay. I was in Bamburi Police Station 2 months ago, and I found police officers eating the food that is meant for prisoners.